Scotty's Tech World, teaching people how to install Linux operating systems and advising them on programs that help tremendously with everyday tasks to make your life easier, solving software problems to reduce life's frustrations. Hi everybody, my name is Roy and you are logged on to Scotty's Tech World. In this YouTube video that I'm doing today, I'm going to show you how to download and install Balena Etcher as well as Rescuezilla for those people that are wanting to migrate from Windows 10 or 11 to Linux. It shows you step by step what you need to do in order to make the change. In this here, there are time slots which show you exactly where everything is. So if you do know how to do something and you're not wanting to watch that, click on the time slot to move forward. And also, if the presentation is too fast, you can slow down by clicking on the right menu down below on YouTube to set the speed of the speed at which you watch. Thank you for watching, and if you have at the end benefit from this, I would be grateful if you would click the like icon and also ring the bell, because it makes it a lot easier for me to continue forward doing presentations like this. Thank you. Now let's get into it and not waste any time. Here you can see that I'm on the Windows 10 screen. I'm going to go into Firefox and I'm going to look for Balena Etcher. Here, Balena Etcher download. I'm going to click on that. Here's the Balena Etcher site. If I go down here, you will see that the downloads are here. If I say download, it'll download the file there, it's downloading it. Here, Balena Etcher has now nearly downloaded completely, as you can see over here. Click on that to open the file, and here we've got the opening screen for Balena Etcher. We're going to flash from file, so I'm going to go to downloads and see if I have got this. Yes, I've got it. There it is there. Open. Select a target. Here I'm going to select the drive. There it is there, SanDisk Cruiser Blade USB. I'm going to select that and select. Flash the drive. Once we press that, here we can see that it is nearly completed writing to the USB. Once it has finished the writing to the USB, it's then going to check that the files are correct, so it's going to verify the files. Here we can see it's verifying or validating. There you can see that happening. Here we can see that validation is nearly complete. We could have skipped it if we had wanted to, but I think validating is a good thing to do. Here also we can see that if we press flash another, you could then put in another drive and you could then create the same USB again, but you've got to make sure that you're putting in a drive that is not important, because what's going to happen is when it does write to it, it's going to overwrite it. So having said that, now we have a USB drive that has got Rescuezilla installed on it in an ISO format. When you first open Rescuezilla, you will be presented with this screen over here. Here you've got AR and R. This is for your screen itself. Don't worry about that unless you have problems on your screen. File Manager is self-explanatory. It shows you files that are in the program itself. Firefox, equally self-explanatory. XFE, XFCE terminal. That of course is if you want to do something in the terminal. File whatever you need to do. Gparted is a fantastic program, and I have covered Gparted in a previous tutorial. Gparted makes it possible to look at all your drives to see what is available on the drive. Here you can see I've got that there, I've got this one here, and I've got that one there. If I click on that, it'll show you this here is the actual drive that has got Rescuezilla on it. This is what I booted from. I'm not going to go into this in detail because if you have a look amongst the YouTube videos that I've done, I do Gparted quite in depth. Here, mousepad, that's for taking notes and stuff. That is self-explanatory as well. The main icon that you're going to be using is Rescuezilla itself. If we double click on that, we come on to Rescuezilla here. Here you can see we've got easy create a backup image of your computer or completely restore from one. Click an option to begin. Here we have backup, we have restore, we have clone, verify, and image explorer. Backup is the one that you're going to use initially. You might at a later stage, if you want to have a second computer that is a clone of your main computer, you would then use this here. You have to note though that if you are going from a, let's call it a 500 gigabyte hard drive, and you're trying to put it on a 350 gigabyte hard drive, it's not going to work. But if you're going from a 500 gigabyte to a 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 terabyte, yes, you can do that. Verify image is to verify the data once it's been done. I hardly ever use that because when the backup is complete, it gives you an indication that the backup was successful and it shows you all the data. So I think it's not really needed, but it's handy to have. Image Explorer, that'll go into your hard drive that you are using as a backup for this here, and it just allows you to see what backups you've got. Having said that, I'm going to now click on that there. Here we can see drive 1 is a 3.6 terabyte drive. There it is there. Drive 2 is a 28.7 gigabyte. Scan disk cruiser blade, that is a USB drive. This drive here is a virtual drive because I'm doing this here on a virtual machine to be able to show you what is happening. Here we can see select the source drive. The source drive is the drive that you want to copy. So my source drive would be this drive over here. It highlights it in blue. Once you're happy with what you've selected, click next. Here you can see it's going to partition 1, 2, and 3. It's going to copy all 3 of those partitions. I would suggest that you leave these as they are, especially if you copy in an important drive with all your information on it, your main hard drive or solid state drive. Click on next. Yeah, it's asking to select the destination drive. The drive is connected directly to my computer. Shared over a network, you could do that if you're on a network, but I'm not on a network, so we're going to do that. The drive that I'm going to use to store the backup is this one over here, so I'm going to click on that. It again highlights it in blue. Go to next. Here you can see I have backed this drive up before, so I'm just going to continue to do it. I'm going to, here you can see that there's mount backup, that's where it'll put it to, but you could change where you want to by clicking on browse and selecting a specific directory or position on your drive. If you're happy with what is happening, you go across and you click next. We're going to be happy with this name here. There it tells you the date, the time, etc. that this backup was made. If you're happy with that, you can leave it or you can change it. Go down to Next. Here you can see that it's going to compress the backup to save space. If you move this to the best, it's going to be the slowest, in that it's going to take the longest time to back it up because it's doing greater compression. I would suggest leaving it on that there, because that is not too time consuming. If you're going to do a very big drive, like a 2 terabyte or 4 terabyte drive, then I would suggest beginning your backup early in the evening and allowing your machine run right through the night. Having said that, we go to Next. Here it shows you, it's confirming what it's going to do. It's going to back up SDB1, SDB2, SDB3. And this stands for the drive that you're going to be backing up. And the SD stands for SCSI drive B1. Here you can see the different partitions. Don't change anything there unless you're unhappy. And if you're unhappy with something, go back and redo. When you're happy with that, click Next. There you'll see that the backup is now starting to take place. Over here you can see Do Nothing on successful completion. That's this over here. You can ask it to shut down the computer or reboot. I'm going to leave it on Do Nothing because I want the computer to continue running. This here will be fairly quick because it's a small drive. It's only a 32 gigabyte USB drive. Reading here, you'll see consider contributing $1 per month on the crowdfunding website, Patreon, so Rescuezilla can continue to be developed. It's a good idea if you financially can. If you can't, I'm sure that the person who has written this software understands, because we're not all wealthy. But if you can, I think it's a good thing to do, whether it be a once-off contribution or a monthly contribution. That depends on you. Here we can see that we are at 81%, so we are nearly completed over here. When it does finish, it will tell us that it has completed successfully, and it will remain there and not do anything. Here we are nearly at it at the moment. So let's leave it to stop. There you can see backup summary. Backup saved successfully, and there it's done. This took 1 minute. But as I say, if you are backing up a big drive, it will take more. Click Next, and we come back to this screen over here. Having said that, I'm now going to click on Restore so that you can see what happens when we restore the drive. Restore, select image location. Now, image location is on this drive here. So we go Next. And here you can see this is the one that we've copied. So we're going to recopy it back again. I'm just doing this to show you what's going to happen. We're going to copy that back to the USB drive, and there we go. Next. We're happy with everything that it's going to copy. Select drive to restore. It's that one over there, and we click Next, and it shows us what partitions it's going to do. I'm happy with that. Click Next. Here it tells us exactly. It will be overwritten, the timetable, the partition table. So we expect that. So if you are changing it to a different drive, make sure that the drive that you're going to back it up to has not got critical data on it, because it will wipe it. Are you sure you want to resume the backup to that? Doing so will permanently override the data on this drive. Yes, we want to do it, and there it is taking place. Again, we've got do nothing, or reboot the computer, or just switch the computer off. I'm not going to burden you by letting you watch this whole process take place. So that now you have seen how to do a restore, and that is a great help to you. Thank you for watching. I do hope that this will help you considerably when you upgrade your Windows. I would also be grateful if you would consider activating the subscribe, like, and ringing the bell icon, because this makes it possible for me to do more videos of this sort to help people with problems that they might have. Having said that, thank you once again, and I'll see you soon.